This isn't just some dusty poem from an old book. Think of this as a 911 call from a man who is absolutely convinced he's about to die. Today, we're going to step right into the heart of Psalm 17, a completely raw, unfiltered prayer for survival. And we're going to build this story in our minds scene by scene so vividly that you won't be able to forget it.
But first, I want you to put yourself there for a second. Really imagine it. The walls are closing in, the shadows are moving, and you are the target. Who do you call? What do you even say? That gut-wrenching feeling of desperation? Well, that's exactly where our story begins.
All right, let's get into it. The story opens, and it feels like we're in the highest court in the entire universe. Our hero, David, isn't just whispering a prayer. No, he's making a bold, public appeal. He's laying his case out for everyone to see, and he is demanding justice. So, verse 1. This is not a polite excuse me, this is a shout. David is basically yelling, listen to me. This is a real emergency, and I am telling you the 100% honest-to-goodness truth. To lock this image in your mind, just picture a man, all alone, standing in a vast, dark canyon at night. He throws his head back, and his voice just echoes, a raw, powerful cry for justice that cuts right through the silence. Then, in verse 2, he pushes it even further. He's demanding a verdict directly from the ultimate judge, saying, I want your eyes on this. You're the only one who sees the whole truth. So imagine him now, stepping into this massive, empty throne room. The only light in the whole place is a single, brilliant spotlight coming from above, like a divine gaze that's scanning everything with perfect clarity. And he walks right into that light because he has absolutely nothing to hide. Verse 3. Okay, this is his testimony. He's saying, look, you've already cross-examined me. You've seen me in my most private moments when no one else is looking, and you found nothing. I'm clean. For this, let's picture a pair of hands in the dark, and they're holding a glowing, transparent heart. They're turning it over, examining it from every single angle, searching for any crack or any flaw, but it just stays perfectly whole and bright. Now let's move to verse 4 and see how he keeps building his case. David says he has deliberately, on purpose, chosen to avoid the corrupt and violent lifestyle all around him. This was a conscious choice. So picture two paths diverging in a forest. One path is wide, dark, and it's just littered with traps. That's the path of the destroyer. But the other path, it's narrow, yeah, and it looks difficult, but it's lit by a gentle light from above. David is walking firmly on that lit path. So in verse 5, even though he's on the right path, he knows he's vulnerable. And this is a plea for stability. He's basically saying, help me keep my footing here. Let's imagine a dramatic, low-angle shot of a pair of feet planted on a treacherous, rocky cliff edge. You've got deep canyons on both sides, but those feet are steady. They're held firm, preventing a disastrous fall. Verse 6, and here, something changes. Notice the confidence. The tone shifts. He isn't just hoping he'll be heard. He knows he will be. That certainty is everything. To visualize this, let's see a close-up of him speaking. And as the words leave his lips, a visible sound wave travels up from his mouth, arcing directly into the sky and into a giant listening ear that's formed in the clouds. It's a direct, unbroken connection. And all of that builds to the climax of his appeal in verse 7. He's asking for a miracle, a truly spectacular rescue. He wants God to show up in a massive, powerful way. So imagine a person backed into a corner by these menacing, shadowy figures. Then, suddenly, a massive, powerful hand made of pure light descends from above, and it just effortlessly pushes the shadows and all the darkness away, creating this perfect circle of safety. And now, the scene changes completely. The appeal has been made, and the focus snaps to the immediate danger. David starts to describe his enemies, and you can feel the tension ratchet way up. We are now surrounded. Verse 8. This is one of the most beautiful and intimate images in the entire prayer. To be the apple of your eye, it just means to be the most precious, cherished, protected thing. The picture for this has to be an extreme close-up of a kind, powerful eye. And if you look closely, reflected in the pupil, you can see a tiny, perfectly safe person, completely sheltered from all harm. Verse 9 makes the threat totally concrete. This isn't some problem for later. It's happening right now. They are deadly, and they surround him. So let's imagine this from a first-person perspective. You look around you 360 degrees, and all you can see is a tight, menacing circle of dark, faceless figures closing in. There is no way out. So, what are these enemies actually like? Verse 10 tells us they are cold, they're arrogant, they have zero compassion. Picture a man's chest, but where his heart is supposed to be, there's a heavy, locked iron safe. It's cold to the touch. Nothing can get in and nothing can get out. The trap gets even tighter in verse 11. These guys are patient hunters. They're crouching, just waiting, ready to spring the trap. To see this, imagine you're looking straight down at your own feet, and all you can see is the circle of enemy feet shuffling in the dust, getting closer and closer, cutting off any possible path of escape. And here it is. Verse 12 gives us the terrifying metaphor. This is what he's really up against. And to make this completely unforgettable, imagine a sudden jarring cut. No warning. The screen is just filled with a visceral, full-frame close-up of a snarling lion, its jaws wide open, fangs bared, ready to strike. The threat is no longer abstract. It's primal, and it is immediate.
Just when the situation seems absolutely hopeless, the prayer pivots. That desperation turns into a defiant, confident command for divine intervention. This is the final act. This is the rescue. Verse 13 is the turning point. David calls for God to step into the fight. "Arise," he shouts. So visualize this. A gleaming, divine sword, made of pure light, slices down through all the darkness that filled the previous scenes. It strikes the image of the lion and shatters the threat into a million pieces of light.
Now in verse 14, David draws a really sharp contrast. His enemies, he says, they live only for this life, for wealth, for status, for what they can leave behind for their kids. All their treasure is right here on earth. Picture a wealthy man on his deathbed, surrounded by piles of gold coins and property deeds. He's clinging to them desperately, but they're useless now. They offer zero comfort against the end. And here it is, the final, incredible conclusion in verse 15. David's ultimate hope isn't just escaping the lion. It's something so much bigger. He's confident that his true, deep satisfaction will come from seeing God. And the final image is this. The same man who was trapped in that dark canyon is now standing peacefully on a mountain summit. He's bathed in the warm, golden light of a sunrise, his face turned upward, filled not with fear, but with total awe and complete satisfaction. So that's the story of Psalm 17. An honest appeal, a terrifying threat, and an ultimate rescue. And it leaves us with a question that just echoes through time. When your own lions are closing in, where do you look for your rescue?